View all achievements. Here we go. Beat the game in Ironman Impossible difficulty.
Picking up an enemy transport inbound on your current position. Advent interceptors within striking distance in 30 seconds. Firebrand, clear the area.
Avenger, all XCOM operatives are dead or MIA. I'm returning to base.
What? I could have just ran the sniper up there. That was my bad. So everybody's gone. I figured reinforcements would have come and it would have just gotten more intense. It just failed the mission. Or been able to fight for my life to the extraction point. If everybody's dead, then I don't like the new design mechanics of this game. I could have gotten the sniper up to the roof, but I was playing it safe thinking a bunch of guys are going to drop down. Captured. I think I should have been able to fight for my life there. They did not get captured. They were a turn away from victory. That's silly, because I had the sniper right there, and I was like, oh, I could throw him to the extraction point. And based off of the tutorial, you just need one person to touch the extraction point. You don't get a memorial for your soldiers that are captured? You don't remember those who've been captured? Huh. Just fallen soldiers. Alright. You know, we didn't lose Iron Man mode, and we could have ran the sniper to the extraction point. And if that sniper would have touched the extraction point and we all would have been saved, we would have beat the mission. So technically we beat the mission. But we still don't necessarily know that. But based off the tutorial, you just have to have one person touch the extraction point. And that's kind of silly because everyone else is still way, way, way back. And I don't even know if that's the case. Maybe they all have to be in the extraction point. So we still have many unanswered questions, and everyone got captured. Well, you know, like, I personally feel that they should have to physically be captured. They should have came in with some drop ships and just surrounded me. Like, I don't care, bring 4 drop ships. Give the enemies, like, you know, bring down 20 enemies and give me the last, like, maybe 1 or 2 turns to see who can make it to the drop ship and escape, you know? I don't really think that's fair, and it wasn't really explained either. So that's just a bummer. You know, it was even saying like, oh, you have 1 turn left until reinforcements come up. So, the whole time I was expecting reinforcements to arrive, and then it was just going to be like shit hit the fan, like in XCOM 1. Like, you're running out of time, shit's getting crazier and crazier and crazier. But in this case, it's just like, nope, they're captured, and they don't even let you fight for your life. That's a huge design flaw in my opinion. It feels lazy that the designers weren't like, okay, we're just going to bring down a bunch of AI, and then you have to fight for your life, and then you could have, the AI could have came up to you, shocked you with a taser. Like, maybe they got a taser that they can use from long range. They have to get up to you and drag you away, or they're tasering your guys, and you have a chance to pick them up and carry them off to the drop ship. They should have to capture you to capture you. And they're not just like, oh, the thing hit 0. Sorry, and I had the opportunity to get that guy there. It just, I was assuming that I was going to have to fight for my life, and that's usually how it went in XCOM 1. So, forget what you know about XCOM 1, guys, and prepare to be punished for not doing things in the timeline. Learn from my mistakes. But I don't really like that design choice, and I still don't have that. I still have an unanswered question of what would have happened if I got that sniper to the extraction point rather than telling him to stand at the edge. Would that have completed the mission? And that would also kind of make me angry, because the difference of him standing there to protect us and running to the extraction point was the difference of completing the mission. So everyone else is lingering behind. He gets there, we get out safely, but I decide to end the turn, and we theoretically got captured, but we physically didn't have to defend ourselves from being captured. I mean, at that point they should have at least explained it to me so I wouldn't be so, you know, salty about it, where they show a cinematic of, you know, just an invasion, like ships surrounding us everywhere. And and then you're thinking to yourself, well, we can't bring the extraction ship because there's ships everywhere and it'll get shot down. That would make more sense to me. It's like, okay, well, now you've missed your opportunity, and there's a buttload of aliens here, and they're just going to shoot down the extraction ship. But we don't really know what happened, and it's just leaving us hanging like that. And I think the worst thing that just drives me nuts is I don't have the answer to my question of what would have happened if I reached that one sniper. And based off of what I know of XCOM, everybody had to be in the extraction point. But the tutorial showed that just one person had to. And we don't know the answer to that yet. So maybe I'll have to Google it just so I know tomorrow. This calls for an Ironman restart. So that's where our Ironman road ends. It's because I didn't understand a game mechanic. But that's part of losing. Had I have known that and I got the sniper there, we'd be going on to the next mission of Iron Man. And we would have 4 guys saved, the VIP saved, and we would have a pretty damn strong force. We had 3 promotions, no deaths on that mission. It was our most successful mission yet. I just had to move the sniper to the extraction point, and that's my fault. We lost this game from lack of information. I've been reading everything that is presented to me so far, except for I did make that mistake on the hacking terminal. But I don't believe anywhere on screen it said, when this timer hits 0, you will immediately lose the mission, and all recruits will be captive. I'm not happy with some of the design choices on the time missions, on how it just magically. We should have had a fight for our chance to escape. Well, I guess knowing that next time, I'll just keep one guy parked there. As soon as the VIP is grabbed, we move him in and we beat him. So that's not a good design decision either. So let's just say you have to get all guys into the extraction point in 10 turns. It's going to be damn difficult. And I'm only on veteran. It's going to get harder. Sprinting every turn, taking every risk. It's going to be hard. It's definitely harder than XCOM 1 in that sense. But I think where XCOM 1 was better was when timers ran out, shit just got crazier. More sirens went off, more aliens came, you got punished for it, and that was it. Or there was consequences, but it only hurt you. It didn't completely make you lose all 4 soldiers. Like, the moment that counter hits 0, it's game over. And I don't think that's a good design decision. That wasn't in XCOM 1. I've never been faced with that. I beat XCOM 1, Iron Man Impossible, and there was no mission where I was like, this design decision was really poor. We went into it Iron Man. I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to play the game so I can actually save scum, test things, figure out how things work. If I was in that situation again with a save scum, I'll be able to test whether or not the sniper was able to finish the mission or not. Then I can make more decisions on how I think the designs choices are. Maybe I'll change my mind, but certainly not a big fan of the timed missions. I can tell that they are going to suck on the legendary Iron Man mode. For that reason, I might not finish this game on legendary Iron Man, just because I don't feel like I would enjoy it. XCOM, I enjoyed the punishment. I enjoyed the challenge. I was freaking out. That timer, not a fan. And the way it ends like that, with no explanation, just, oh, everyone's been captured. Not a fan of that either. So, what can you do? So I guess I'm going to chop that up into a day 1 review, first impressions, and it's a little bit of a rant, but I'm feeling a bit salty. About that. Live and let learn. But I'll have more to say on it when I play this game without Iron Man. It's just unfortunate because we were literally this close, 1 turn away from bringing everybody in and going on to the next mission and just Iron Man in this thing out. I don't feel like I lost Iron Man mode. I didn't see my guys die in battle, and that sucks. Like, when I lost Iron Man mode in XCOM 1, I accepted it. I was like, okay, we're done. Sure, I can grab a bunch of rookies and do it again, but these rookies aren't going to be prepared for the next timed mission. And I know there's a timed mission coming around the corner. Based off that alone, I can't say that I would want to go through that again with a bunch of rookies. but we're gonna have to find out how it works. If you can just park a guy beside the extraction point, and if that's the thing, we're gonna have to just cheese it from now on. We'll leave a guy there and do the objective, and then walk the guy onto the platform and call it a day. But you know what? I'm focusing too much on the Iron Man aspect of the game. So for first impressions goes, like, you know, I didn't get to play around with too much of the extraction stuff. This feels somewhat same. Instead of clearing dirt, you're clearing alien debris and you're filling it up with that stuff. The whole base idea moving around is pretty cool. I like it. However, you don't feel like you're really designing it as much as you did in the other one, in XCOM 1. I guess you're going to have to design the 12 panels here. But as far as like the other things, I felt like, I'm pretty sure you got to place them where you wanted to, or do a little bit more with it. So it looks cooler this time around. Character customization's a lot better, and I know with the modding, it's going to get really crazy. You know, I think modding might even fix stuff like the timed missions, like the stuff I'm complaining about. The world map thing, it's interesting. I'm not a big fan of the RNG uncover elements. Like, we came over here and we beat a mission, and we didn't have to actually do anything. We just waited, and it was like, congratulations, you got some shit. Not a big fan of that, because you just kind of, like, as more and more of these things uncover, we're just kind of like go there and hope, like, do we get this one for free, or do we have to do a mission? And then it's like, oh, timed mission. And you're like, maybe I should skip it. Or I kind of feel like if I go to a place, I should actually have to bring my squad in there and do something, because, like, they uncovered some materials. Well, I guess the ship uncovered the materials and just lifted them in, and then we drove out. But, you know, it kind of felt like a just a waste of time, in my opinion. It's just like, okay, we went there, we scanned, we waited, and it's just killing time. And, you know, I'm ready to jump into another mission at that point. And it's like, okay, well, now I'll go over here and check this area. So now it starts turning into one of those kind of like mobile Facebook kind of games. We've all got our fair share of those in the past, being introduced into games. And it's just getting irritating. So I'm not a fan of like, hey, you uncovered supplies and that was it. Congratulations. And then go, you know, scan this spot and then scan this spot. And, you know, I kind of feel like you should be waging between missions and choosing what missions are what. Because, like, if I see this and I'm like pretty sure it's a mission, and I see this and I go there and it's just materials, and then I lose out on that one. We'll see how it uncovers as there's more and more icons. But it wasn't terrible. It's just felt like, okay, I went over there and scanned it, and now it's done. It's just like, to me, it's kind of like an RNG thing, because if I didn't go over there, I wouldn't have gotten it. So I guess you're kind of like, oh, that's great, but you can't really plan for that. You can't really strategize that. Whereas in XCOM 1, you kind of had to pick and choose, like, should I do this, should I not do this? And this one, it's like, I went there and I got materials, and that materials is going to help me, and it might give you an edge, and that's good, but now it's kind of like RNG's helping you. And if you're playing Iron Man Legendary mode, depending on how many of these things are, you might luck out, get a whole bunch of supplies, buy something, and it helps swing you into the next mission, where someone else playing Iron Man Impossible mode goes in there, gets a straight mission right away, a really tough mission, and then they just get flatlined because they didn't get all these different, you know, uncover supply zones. So I don't know how that's going to play out. Maybe it's just like a bonus. If it's a bonus, that's cool. Like, you have the bare minimum will always get you by if you strategize properly. But if these are required, then there's going to be some RNG play in there. So hopefully it's just a bonus. But knowing XCOM Impossible mode, the odds are already stacked against you. So you're going to be like, hopefully it's a free crate. Hopefully it's a non-mission item. And that's a bit disappointing. I'd rather be able to go like, okay, we have this mission, we have this mission. I guess you can't see my hands. We have this mission, and we have this mission. Now this one gives me these benefits, and these ones give me these benefits. Now the reward for this one and the reward for this one will lead me into this route, and that's the route that I want to go. So let's take that one. But you go there, and it's just like, congratulations, you got 32 supplies, and you missed out on this mission. And that's going to make Impossible mode, or Legendary mode, is what they call it now. That's going to make it a little bit strange. So we'll see how this plays out. As a first impressions, I was like, okay, it's kind of neat. We're traveling around to these different places, and you get some choice, and it's gonna branch out. I'm assuming, and then you're gonna be like, whoa, I have all these choices, but all those choices may cause more problems for those wanting to play the hardest modes, and so we'll see. Especially if you go all the way there and it's a timed mission, and knowing a timed mission could lose you all your best guys. Time missions you might just treat like send in 4 rookies, but even rookies are valuable. They're replacements, and if they all just get annihilated. So there are a lot of improvements to the game. I do like the concealment. It's a little bit neat to start off. The enemy types are great. They're way harder, way more brutal. They're kicking this game off to a start. It's great. I love that. Yeah, enemy types are great. I've seen a few cool enemies, and I'm excited to see what the game has to offer more so I can talk about it further. But so far it feels much like XCOM 1, with just brought up a notch. Better environments, better, stronger enemies. They're throwing in some spins with these timed missions and the way things work. I had a few Overwatches not really behave properly. I've had some, and things are just a little bit new to get used to. And I'm not sure if a few of those things were bugs or not. So far, it's just a better version of XCOM. The other missions are good. I had fun with them. We lost some soldiers, and we made some good decisions, some bad decisions, and they were great. So it just felt like a better, improved version of XCOM. When the sectoids came out, they really surprised me. The commanders, they surprised me. They seem pretty tough, and when those dropships come, it freaks you out. And it feels like a more intense version of XCOM. It's certainly intense by knowing that those time missions, it's game over as soon as that hits 0. And the other ones, they did that to you sometimes, but it was like a second. I think it was like something's going to blow up and you have to get out of here, and that's what they said. You did your objective, and then they're like, you have to get out of here in 5 turns, and you just get all your guys there, and whoever was left behind, they would get killed. So, and you would see that, and if nobody got there, it was game over. So I feel like XCOM 1 did a better job in that sense on these timed sort of missions where, I wasn't very clear, and maybe I'm gonna have to go back and watch the footage, because I didn't realize that, like, hey, all hell's gonna break loose in 10 turns. Like, everyone's gonna be kidnapped. So I'll rewatch the footage. Maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I'm just being salty and ignorant for no reason. But I'm not a fan of them, and there wasn't really a game mode or a level that I didn't like in XCOM. The invasion missions or whatever they were, where you had to rescue the people or rescue as many people as you could, and they had those crazy critters. They would poison the civilians and turn them into zombies, and it was just all hell would break loose on those. That's usually the missions where you would lose in XCOM 1. I hated those. They freaked me out. But no, I didn't hate them. I was just afraid of them. I was like, oh my god, here we go. We're gonna lose everybody. And I bring heavies with rocket launchers, just and pray. And they were fun though. It was exciting. It was scary, but you had time and you could get through it. And at the end of the day, I felt good about it. But I felt robbed in this. I'm not gonna lie. At the end of XCOM 2, or the way it ended, I didn't watch my soldiers die. I didn't watch their blood spill and drop to my knees and scream, and it felt like a very lackluster finish. It's like, oh, you were kidnapped. No cinematic, nothing. That's not what we know of XCOM. So we're gonna have to reassess. We're gonna have to start over tomorrow. We'll see tomorrow when I can save scum. But save scumming it's not realistic, but we're gonna learn from my mistakes. I'll learn the game, and I'll come back and smash this game on Ironman mode, and when I know the ins and outs. And we'll pick apart the design features a little bit more tomorrow when we can reload. I'm gonna try things. Go, okay, what would happen if I load this and just run a sniper? What would happen? Do I have to get the whole team to the extraction point? We're gonna find things out tomorrow, and I'll be able to talk a lot more about XCOM. But overall, it's an improved version of XCOM. If you liked XCOM, it's just everything's better. But I'd say everything's scarier. It's harder. it's not like I'm not noticing a whole bunch of new tools off the bat. Like I had that droid for my one guy had a sword, but the sword actually had less of a chance to hit than his shotgun, so I didn't even get to use the sword because it was pointless to use it. So as far as like the characters and stuff go, it's exactly the same. I haven't seen an improvement so far other than being able to hack one thing. So I'm gonna have to get deeper into it before I can start judging. But graphics are better, environments are better, character details are better, you know, enemies are better. Overall, a better experience of XCOM. They threw the shoe into there and decided to throw in a different level type. It threw me off because I wasn't prepared for it. A little bit salty. We're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see as I play more and more and more missions and play with the map system a bit more and the choices on the map system, how it stacks up against XCOM. And XCOM had the mechs. I don't know if that's a thing in this. Haven't really seen a cybernetics lab, so we will see. You know, this one's interesting. They throw new enemy types at you, the soldier and then the commander, and then they throw the improved sectoids at you, which is just an improved version, I guess, from XCOM 1. But XCOM 1, it was like the little sectoids, and they're kind of cute, and you gotta learn how to get good. And this one was like, oh shit, they just threw you in the deep end. You're like, you know, what's that? What's this? Oh, surprise. Hey, now you lost that. Hey, surprise. You know, in XCOM 1, I felt like you had more of a chance. The sectoids would move, they'd shoot. I think once in a while they had one special one that tried to manipulate you. And as long as you played it smart, it was just like a basic game of checkers. Whereas this one, it was just like, whoa, 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 you're playing checkers on a roller coaster, and you're losing pieces because you didn't expect a turn coming up, and then at the end, all my board just goes flying off the end because I didn't understand. So yeah, weird analogy, but yeah, it's definitely different. Progression-wise, they throw you in the deep end. That's cool. I like that because I'm already experienced with XCOM, but even I was caught off guard, and I don't like the way my Ironman career ended, and I think that's why I'm ranting for so long. Was I expected some death and destruction, and I want to go visit the memorial and go, oh, this is how Iron Man defeated me, but just a thing come up on screen saying you've been captured, and because I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back and look at the footage. I'm tired though. Those are my first impressions on XCOM. It's a better version, a more improved version of XCOM 1. They throw you in the deep end. You know, everything's just more polished from characters and graphics and arts. But now you're thrown in the deep end, and a bunch of curveballs are thrown at you. So you're gonna have to take some time to learn everything. And once you learn all that, maybe starting a new game, you'll with the understanding of all those mechanics and all these different things.
There's been plenty of gripes about my flying.
You might like it better. Yeah, that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. So I'll report back on the design features, what I think of the map system, what I think on the different game types or the mission types when I get into it tomorrow. That's that. Alright guys, thanks for watching. My name's Johnny5Alive, and I will see you in the next video. We're gonna go into Ironman mode and see how long I can last. It's gonna be terrifying. So get ready to shit your pants with me, because XCOM 2 is a brutal game. Alright, let's start. Fireworks off. And we've got anime.